Women Who Own It podcast spotlights women business owners who are pioneers in their field, setting trends, blazing trails, and creating game-changing innovations. Brought to you by WBENC, the largest certifier of women-owned businesses in the U.S. and a leading advocate for women business owners and entrepreneurs. And me, Allison Maslin. I've been a business owner for the last 35 years. I'm the Wall Street Journal best-selling author of the book, Scale or Fail. So join our bold community of women who built it, grew it, and own it. I'll see you on the show. Hey everyone. I am so excited to be here today, and you are going to be so happy that you have this virtual front row experience where we're going to be diving into an incredible founder of a very successful enterprise and learn the ins and outs of what got her to where she is today, plus some great lessons along the way. I am your host today. My name is Allison Maslin. I am the CEO and founder of Pinnacle Global Network, where we mentor business owners, primarily women, around the world to grow and scale their companies, including, I'm happy to say, many WBEs. I am also the host of the WBENC podcast, Women Who Own It. Yay! Where we are stepping into our second season, which I hope you've had a chance to tune in, as I have had the honor of really interviewing so many incredible WBEs about their journey. So please subscribe to the podcast if you haven't done so yet. A little of my background: I have built 10 companies over the last 37 years, and I love business for so many reasons. I think the main reason is I feel that it is the most creative way to share our gifts that we're born with and to truly make an impact in the world. And that is why and what WBENC is all about. And this is the time for the women CEO. And I'm sure you will agree. I could not be more excited about all the incredible women founders coming on the scene and the support that WBENC and the partnering corporations offer. I am also the Wall Street Journal best-selling author of the book Scale or Fail, which is endorsed by Damon John and Barbara Corcoran of Shark Tank. I developed the Scale It method, which is a framework to help business owners like you scale. And we're going to be talking about some of those components today as you listen to our guest and how she has scaled her business. Now, our Scale It method encompasses strategic vision, cash flow, alliance of the team, leadership, and execution. These are 5 pillars that you must have to grow and scale a successful company. And I will leave you with this before we jump into our interview. I know this has been a challenging time for a lot of you. But if you look back at the last 100 years through depressions, recessions, dot-com bust, this truly is right now an incredible window of opportunity. Because during these times, if you look back in history, you've got about 75% of businesses that tend to pull back because of fear. But there are about that 25% of business owners that lean in, that get innovative and create the greatest wealth and the greatest impact of their lives. So I'm hoping that you're going to glean some of that great support on this today. And as I bring on our amazing esteemed guests, I want to tell you that we're also going to be taking questions at the end of the interview. So if you have questions along the way, please put them in the questions tab, not in the chat. There's a button there that says click here to ask a question. So without further ado, Ann Ramakumaran, founder and CEO of Amcus Incorporated, is a technology-savvy entrepreneur with more than 20 years of contribution towards the design, development, and delivery of leading-edge technology and human capital management across the globe. Under her leadership, she has cultivated Amcus into a fast-growing consulting and professional services firm. For 11 consecutive years, she has been recognized as a top Asian American-owned business by the USPAACC and honored as one of the 50 fastest-growing women-owned businesses in the continental U.S. by the Women's Presidents Organization. Under Ann's leadership, Amcus has made the Inc. 500 5000 list and has been recognized as a top diversity business. Ann was also awarded Women in Technology Entrepreneur of the Year by WIT and most recently received the Chairman's Award for Inspirational Leadership from the CRM SDC and the President's Award from WPEO. Amcus has also received the Global Growth Award from Astro Women's Business Alliance, Supplier of the Year Award from GMSDC, Top Asian American Business Award from the USPAACC Southeast and Southwest. My goodness, she is very decorated and done amazing work in the business world. In 2019, Amcus became part of the NMSDC's Elite Corporate Plus program, and she is going to be inducted in the Women's Business Enterprise Hall of Fame in March of 2021, which happens to be this month. So let's all give a very warm welcome to Ann Ramakumaran. Hi, Ann.
Hi, Allison. How are you doing? Very excited to be joining you on this podcast. Thank you for having me.
We're going to have some fun.
It's going to be fun for sure. Thank you so much for having me here on the podcast. You know, you do a fantastic job, Allison. And thank you so much for sharing all stories of all women-owned businesses via the podcast. Can't thank you enough for all that you do.
Well, they all inspire me, and you definitely are at the top of the list. So I have some questions. I know many that are watching right now are dying to learn how the heck you've done it. So I would like to start out to really understand a little bit of your journey. What inspired you to start and grow Amcus?
Sure, Allison. So Allison, what really excites me is identifying some of the business problems and solving some of clients' business complex problems by infusing innovative technology solutions and bringing their projects to finish line by backing it up with the right talent. In 2004 is when I started. What I realized then, Allison, was that there weren't too many companies that focused on, solving complex problems by infusing innovative technology solutions and backing it up with human capital management. Hence, felt the need to, start this one-shop stop. And here we are. Must say the journey for the last 16 years has been great. And what I noticed in 2004 also is, Allison, that a lot of the corporations were looking for companies like us because they were also optimizing their supply chain, right? So they didn't want to have 20 staff augmentation suppliers, 20 business consulting companies, 20 technology consulting companies. They wanted to optimize their customer base. But that was perfect time from our perspective. And I say that because, Allison, that was the time when corporations who didn't have a diversity program in place were, putting policies in place to go ahead and include diverse suppliers as part of their supply chain. And the ones who already had a diversity program in place were finding ways to go ahead and increase their spend with diverse suppliers. So I must say the time was right. Must say the journey so far has been great. And because the focus was on business and technology consulting and human capital management, continued to go ahead and hire resources that not only have the business experience or the industry experience, but also that has the technology experience so that we could first understand what clients' complex problems are if we have an understanding of that industry, and then back it up with, I call it the IT geeks who not just think about today, but 10 years ahead. And then, it's so important to have the right people because you may have 10 solutions, but if you don't have the right people to get that project to finish line, things could fall through the cracks. So 16 years and going, must say the journey has been great.
Well, congratulations. It's quite the enterprise and super inspiring. And I love what you said, that you really listened to what the needs were and what the demand was at the time. And I think that is just a real clue for anybody listening right now. Oftentimes the answers are out there, but we've got to really tune in to what the need is.
Sure.
So what do you feel like? I mean, you said some of it just now, but what do you really feel sets Amcus apart from its competitors?
So there's several reasons, there are a couple of things that, I've always been proud of. In fact, even in the panel discussion earlier, I did mention what I'm very proud of are the people, the Amcus family and the Amcus group of companies, amazing people. And what we've continued to do is invest and reinvest in people, process, and infrastructure to support the growth. So Allison, if we talk about the people aspect, as I mentioned, right, if any of our clients want to go ahead and have a meeting with us, right, and we're going ahead and presenting to them, you would see we will go as that A-class team. And when I say that A-class team, we will have people who have the business or the industry experience, because it's very important to have someone who really understands that industry well. We would have our technologists who, really understand which is the best IT solution to solve that business problem. And then we have our sales team to bring things to a close, and then the management team, right? So we will always go in full force, is what I would say. So the people aspect, right? We've always continued to invest and reinvest in our people. What we're very proud of is the people that we have the business and the technology experience, but they're very passionate people also, right? It's very important to surround yourself with people who love doing what they do, be it, the experience from a technology perspective, or be it, from a business or an industry perspective. It's very important to surround yourself with people that are passionate. And must say, we have amazing leaders and amazing team members who always find innovative ways to solve problems, and they're always thinking about a solution that will always help customers increase efficiency, increase productivity, and they're always thinking the solution that we're going to be providing, is that not just innovative, but is that going to drive cost savings? Because that's what clients are always looking for, right? They want innovative solutions. They want those solutions which are quality solutions, but at the same time, are they going to be sustainable? Right? And some of the technology solutions could be complex, but what we're always finding ways of is how can we make our customers' life easy? So the people aspect, truly blessed to be surrounded by amazing people in the company that really consider clients' problem as their problem, and they work day in and day out to solve those problems. Let's talk about the process piece, Allison. Okay. From a process standpoint of view, Allison, we are a company that's really paid a lot of attention on processes. Our company is process certified, so our quality management processes, our information security management processes, as well as our service management processes are all certified by international standard organizations. So what does that mean? That means we're an ISO 9001, 20,000, and 27,000 certified company. And we are also a CMMI level 3 certified company, both in development as well as in services. And that gives the client the confidence that the project or the service, once a contract is awarded, will be delivered on time and within the budget, because we have those stringent processes, and we align our processes well with, our client's vision and mission. And the third thing is the infrastructure. We've continuously invested and reinvested in people, processes, and infrastructure to support the growth. What we do is we have our own innovation lab, Allison, and that's where we bring a lot of new ideas. We help our customers, as well as we do that internally, where we move and we very happily move and participate in the journey from ideation to full-blown implementation, or ideation to commercialization. So we do a lot of proof of concepts, a lot of proof of value, and we understand what those client problems are, bring that to the drawing board, and we start working on it and have our clients play with it. Because then when they play with it and when they see how easy it is to use, is when their confidence levels go up. because gone are those days, Allison, of PowerPoint presentations. If they have a problem, they want to see, can you solve it as of today? And that's what exactly what we've been doing at our innovation labs. And we've invested in a lot of technologies and a lot of tools because we are a technology agnostic company. What we focus on is which is that business problem, and then we continue to help our clients solve that problem in the most secured way, because we have cybersecurity as a practice as well.
Wow, you have the trifecta going here. So I love that you said people first, and because they're behind everything. And it sounds like you have an amazing culture, which probably reflects your own personal values. And then the processes, obviously making sure that everything happens and happens on time in the way that it should. And then you're staying innovative, which is everything. And especially right now, so that you're on the edge of the marketplace. So
that's
well
true.
done with that.
Yeah, and that's what I would always tell people, Allison. Our mantra to success is creative minds, innovative ideas, and passionate people who come to work. And when they come to work, they put their head, heart, and soul to it. And a culmination of all of those is what leads to, those magical moments. And we continue to create those magical moments in the lives of our customers, and we continue to create those magical moments internally as well.
Yeah, the passion fuels it all.
Absolutely.
So technology is, it's evolving faster than ever, right? Faster than we ever thought it would happen, especially in this last year. Mm-hmm. How does Amcus stay ahead of these advancements to maintain a competitive edge?
So like I said, right, we continue to invest and reinvest. So say, for example, if one of our client awards a contract, to us, we would first identify and see, or we would do pre-work to see, do we have existing resources that can help us, solve this particular client's problem, or do we have to continue to grow and continue to, hire people? So what we do is, the reason why we've been able to go ahead and continuously win those projects from a technology perspective is because we've continued to invest and reinvest. Money is earned after paying taxes, salaries, bonuses, and all of those things. We reinvest every single dime back into the company. Because technology, buying those tools and technology is expensive. So we've continued to go ahead and invest and reinvest, like I said, not only in people, process, and infrastructure, but also in technology. And then the second thing is, technology, like you rightly said, Allison, is changing rapidly. So what we also pay a lot of emphasis on is training our employees continuously. Training and getting them trained on newer technologies, and also getting them certified on newer technologies, right? And in addition to that, what we've also done is we've built center of excellences. So we have in-house practitioners that are full-time, corporate employees of the company that are, not billable at the client site, but they're continuously innovating, and they're trying new techniques and ways to solve industry problems or client problems at our innovation labs. So we have center of excellences, we have certain practice areas where we're continuously hiring, and we have in-house practitioners that is continuously not just reinventing the wheel, but continuously thinking not just today, but 5 years, 10 years ahead. So that's another area, the reason why we've been successful. And the fourth main reason is, our people, right? I mean, the people that we have understand the industry segment really well. The industries that the clients that we support, they understand that industry segment really well. It's very important to understand the industry first before you solve any of their problems, right? And again, from a technology standpoint of view, there are people who are always thinking of, okay, if this is working well, how can we get it better, right? So from a technology perspective, if this is a tool, or this is, because we're a technology agnostic company, so if they're focusing on a particular technology and trying to solve the problem, they would find alternate ways as well. If this can get us faster here, would the other technology be the right one, right? And what can we do to automate all that seamlessly, but at the same time bring transparency and do it in the most secured way? And in addition to that, right, what we also do is, I call it the creative thinkers, right? We have many of them in the company who's always finding new ways of innovating and helping customers navigate through. So because of our reinvestments and investments and reinvestments in people, process, and infrastructure, and because we really listen to our clients really well, we've been able to continue to solve some of their problems. And that's the reason why today, Allison, we are not just the employer of choice, we're the supplier of choice as well for many of our clients. We once we win a project, we're not just focusing on how can we help get that project to finish line real quick, but we do a proper handoff where we go ahead and train them, get them up to speed, so that clients can handle that by themselves as well. And then they really like what we do, and that's the reason why they've continued to walk the halls with us and get us introduced to other stakeholders. And that's how we've continued to expand our presence within different business units within that customer base, and also at the same time acquire other customers within that industry segment.
Yeah, that's so phenomenal, Ann. And what I'm hearing you say is, because I think, a lot of businesses, and probably many that are listening, you're innovating when you're creating a new product. Let's say that you're going to launch a new product, something like that. But what I'm hearing from you is that with Amcus is that the innovation is literally happening all the time.
Absolutely.
Like you're constantly thinking of how do we do this better? Absolutely. And or solve new solutions. I'm going to go on to some other questions here, but if we have time later on, I want to even dive into some of because you obviously have such a great team, how you find these people and how you get them so integrated into your culture. I think that that's one of the biggest challenges that business owners struggle with. So I'm going to kind of hold that one to later on, but
sure.
So third-party risk management and cybersecurity is changing daily. How does your team stay on the cutting edge to be able to bring a competitive advantage to your customers, within this arena?
Yeah, so you rightly said, right? All the corporations, before they bring a supplier on board, Allison, what they're thinking of is, is by bringing this company on board, is there a risk associated if we bring them on board, right? Because again, they have to be doubly sure that when they bring that supplier on board, there aren't any issues, right? So absolutely, for a lot of the clients, third-party risk assessment is crucial, and must say we've passed all of those because, Allison, we have a separate practice area as third-party risk management, and we have members of shared assessment as well. So we really know, what are some of the possible risks that clients look at that they're very scared of. And as I mentioned earlier, Allison, we're a company that's very heavy on processes. So, we know what could be the potential risk from a particular industry perspective, but we also have, certain processes that would basically give clients the confidence that, there's no issue by bringing this client on board. And that's the reason why today, Allison, we support over 70 of the Fortune 100, Fortune 1000 companies, right? So we have a separate practice area, which focuses on third-party risk management as well as cybersecurity. Now, from a cybersecurity perspective, Allison, as I mentioned, Amcus Cyber, Allison, is, you won't believe it, we have the best of practitioners within the Amcus Cyber team. And the Amcus Cyber team is always constantly looking for the bright and the brightest of security geeks, if you may. And we, as a company, right, because we have in-house practitioners, we are aware of what are some of the industry trends, what's happening, where are those malicious activities happening, how are people trying to intrude, right, especially during, the COVID, right? I mean, there's a lot of remote workers working from home and so on. And that's why, I'm sure you would have, Allison, gone through some of those interviews by some of the security companies, right? Where one of the security company announced that just during COVID, the percentage of hacks and intrusions, that percentage increase went up by 30,000. Think about it, right? But we have practitioners who have hands-on experience. We have in-house resources. We actually have services on the cybersecurity side where we provide advisory services to our clients. We go ahead, for some of our clients, we are the outsourced CISO as well, right? So we always keep ourselves abreast of some of the industry trends, and again, we constantly train our employees on what are some of the best cybersecurity practices, what should be avoided, how can we, and then again, we're always training all our clients as well, that there are bad actors out there, but there are a lot of things by training and letting people know, we can control those attacks, right? And that's what we always continue to do, and that's the area that we actually specialize in as well, which is a third-party risk management and cybersecurity. But yes, we I mean, Allison, if you think about it, right? I was talking to somebody the other day. 10 years, 15 years ago, cybersecurity was never a part of your business continuity plan, right? But today, it's not just, the IT would not just talk about, okay, where is our data hosted? Where is our DR site? But then they also talk about the cybersecurity. What if, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, so hence corporations are also worried, right? I mean, before they bring in any supplier on board, they really want to know what will you go past the third party risk assessment? Are there any risks associated if we bring that company on board? And again, from a cybersecurity perspective, what are your cybersecurity processes? What are the policies in place? Do you have that insurance in case if something happens to protect yourself and to protect the client? So we get it because we have that as a practice, and we've been in fact able to it's been of advantage to our client by bringing us on board as a supplier, because when they go ahead and award us, say for example, an application development project, right? Even though the cyber piece is not awarded to us, we would actually, when we're working on that, right, we would tell them, okay, we just want to make sure that we're using this technology solution or this process because we want to make it secure, right? And clients love that. And then that has opened doors for additional cybersecurity work for us, and they've gone ahead and introduced us to, those security officials within the company. So absolutely, in today's day and age, cybersecurity is of utmost importance, and companies should invest in that.
Yes.
Because, yeah.
So over the next several episodes, I'm going to share with you some scale tips that you can apply to your business right away. So for myself, when I've scaled our 10 companies over the last 35 plus years, I had developed something called the Scale It method. And when I really got to the clues and understood what was necessary to scale my business, it changed everything. So the Scale It method is the acronym for SCALE. Strategic vision is the S. You have to have the vision. You have to know where you're going. And oftentimes, if you don't have a clear vision, then that affects your team, it affects your marketing, it really impacts every area of your business. The C in SCALE is cash flow. That's the oxygen of your business. So you need continuous cash flow coming in on a daily business through your marketing, through your sales, and through your finance. And alliance of the team is the A. Well, the team is everything. When you start the business, it's you, then it's the team, and that's about carrying that vision forward and building a team-managed company so that you can get out of the way and the business can grow. L is the leadership. That's how you show up. It's your vision. It's how you communicate, building a collaborative company and empowering your team to step up as leaders as well. And then the E is execution. That's where we put everything into action. And so everybody knows what they need to do, when they need to do it, and exactly how they need to get it done. And so that is the Scale It method. And in our next episode of Women Who Own It, we're going to dive into strategic vision a little bit more and move on from there. Yeah, I mean, you said it a few minutes ago. Just the word insurance. I mean, it's just like the type of insurance that we have for our business.
Mhm.
It is this level of insurance that we need in our companies now, and I don't think that I know for me being in business for all these years, it wasn't till recent that I was like, oh my gosh, we really need to get this in place because you want to make sure that your customers can trust you
Absolutely.
and not have to worry about it. So I'm glad we're talking about it because I do think for those of you listening, you need to really look at that within your business. Um, so here we are coming off of, 2020, which was quite the year for everyone. We're still, we're not really beyond it. We're beginning to move further. We do see the light at the end of the tunnel, but how has the global pandemic impacted the infrastructure of your company and the needs of companies that you're working with?
Yeah, so from our perspective, right, Allison, the minute the governor made an announcement that, effective so and so day, everybody has to work remotely, we called it to action, right? And we, because again, for all, like all of you all, for us also, safety of our employees was and is our number one priority. So for us, we a lot of the companies when that happened, they started to react, and they all were like, we don't know, is that going to disrupt the way the business is being run or so on. But for us, we decided to go ahead and start working remotely on a Friday, and believe me, Monday we were all operational. Why was that? Because we had already invested and reinvested in, in teams, or in, be it from an email perspective, or be it tools and technology. So from our perspective, we did not see any issue. It's just that, instead of being on site at our corporate headquarters or our branch offices, our employees were working remotely, but they already know how to use those tools, how to use those technologies. The processes that we follow are stringent. So, there wasn't any disruption in service from our perspective. But from our client perspective, it did change. If we talk as of today, when we talk to some of our clients, Allison, they're talking about maybe we should maybe we should think of not extending the lease of that particular property, because there are certain roles where people can continue to work from home, and there are certain roles where they might have to come back to work, and if they come back to work, they would have to probably organize and rearrange everything. Because if you remember, Allison, 5 years or 10 years ago, right, we all had closed offices, right? And then everyone went to, okay, let's make it an open, this, so that people can interact well and coordinate and collaborate and so on, right? So they had more of those collaborative areas rather than closed rooms, right? So from a physical infrastructure perspective, we've seen a lot of our clients are now talking to us about maybe that a lot of our employees supporting our commercial customers will probably continue to work remotely, or they would continue to work from home for at least next 4 to 6 months. And then again, from an IT infrastructure perspective, definitely we've seen a lot of our clients investing in VPN, right? So that VPN, and a lot of monies are being spent on network monitoring tools and technology. And then we've also seen a lot of our clients spending a lot of time, and they also expect suppliers like us continue to train all our employees on some of the best practices, right? On what should be done, what should not be done, while employees work remotely. So from a IT infrastructure perspective, we're seeing they are investing a lot of money in and revisiting their contracts with the data centers that they have. A lot of the applications that they have on-prem, they're moving that on cloud, and they are investing a lot on VPN and things like that, and they have continued to invest because earlier, a lot of our clients, even commercial clients, a lot of our employees were working on site versus working off site or at home. So they're now investing a lot on network monitoring and security, as well as on VPN and so on.
So that leads me to in this new virtual world, what have you found, because moving from in person to remote, and it sounds like you had a pretty seamless process.
Mhm.
What have been some of your best practices just to keeping the team connected, keeping that collaboration energy going, accountability, some of the things that I think a lot of business owners have struggled with over this past year?
Right. Allison, from our perspective, right, what we've like I've mentioned before as well, right? Uh, people is what we've always paid a lot of emphasis on, be it internal or external. So our employees, our internal employees, would have constant touch points with, our contractors or our employees who's supporting our clients. They would have, they would have continuous touch points where they're reaching out to all our employees to see how are they doing, right? I mean, are they doing fine? Are their family members doing fine? Are there any, is there any disruption in services? Are they having any issues reaching out to project managers or the leads that they're working with? Is there any disruption in services, or, is business as usual? Do they need help with anything, right? I mean, because then when we support our clients, we're nobody but a conduit between internal and external, right? So we would always have those continuous touch points with employees to see, is there anything that they need help with, right? And talking and communication, Allison, believe me, half of the battle can be won if we just communicate and have those continuous touch points, right? So that's with internal. And then again, when we talk to them, we're also keeping them posted and updated on what's going on as far as their project is concerned, as far as that client is concerned. Any updates that we receive from our clients, right, we would keep our employees posted. In addition to that, what we would also do is we would also keep them posted on some of the industry trends, right? And also train them on some of the best practices when they're working from home, right? Simple things like respect the asset that you have. If the client is issued a laptop or a phone, that's for a purpose, right? Do not download anything which you're not allowed to on that computer, right? And again, when you're logging into this, make sure that you're not sharing your login information with anybody else, right? You're continuously changing your password and so on, right? And what are the best ways to have a complex password? So we're constantly training our employees. And then on the external front as well, right? Just like how we spend time with internal, we also spend time with external. Checking with our clients, how are they doing? How are their family members doing, right? And what's brewing, right? Is there anything that they're looking in the next 3 to 6 months that we can be of any help, be it on the staff augmentation side or be it on the consulting side, right? And understand what are some of the problems that they're facing now, because if they are, we just want to extend help and say we're here to help them navigate through, right? And things have changed. Absolutely, we can't meet in person, but then we have all those tools and techniques and technologies in place via Teams and Zoom and so on. We connect and we continuously have those touch points with our clients. Continuous status meetings, right? We keep our so just like how we continue to connect with our employees, we continue to connect and keep our clients posted on what's happening at our end as well, right? So I think communication, Allison, is a key thing, and then continuous training and keeping them abreast of what's happening within the client that they're supporting, what's happening within our company and our group of companies, and then what's happening externally. I think that's those are some of the things that we've continued to focus on when it comes to remote work, and that's really helping.
Yeah, I think communication really, at the end of the day, it's everything, for people to feel heard. We had a team meeting this morning with my mentoring team. We have 14 mentors on our staff, and everybody was working harder in the last 12 months than I think we ever have, because our customers really needed extra support. And so I just recognized them and said, hey, I know you guys have been working so hard. I know you're tired. I know, what can we do to help you? Let's get you some rest. Let's get you, so I think, just like you said, staying in touch, checking in, how are they doing? Instead of trying to guess. Right. And be psychics, because we're not, right? So,
right.
So that's awesome. So talking
And,
about,
and Allison, because of
yes,
that, right? Because of having continuous touch points with our internal and external, we continue to grow even during pandemic, right? Because
yes.
not like I said earlier in my panel discussion, a lot of our clients were talking about automating a lot of their processes. So they were like, Ann, we're looking to automate all of these manual processes. This was in our back burner earlier, but now that's become important. So is that something that you can help us with? In case of their consulting assignments, and in case of their staff augmentation related positions, we would work with the managed service providers, and they would reach out to us saying that, and this particular client of ours has an increasing need for UiPath developers, or they're looking for blue candidates that have Blue Prism experience, or so on. So we saw an uptick in business even during pandemic, because of being in constant touch with our employees. Because when we are in constant touch with the employees, they would also keep you posted on what's going on, as far as their project is concerned, right? And the other thing is, we would also get to know if their project is coming to an end soon, even before the due date. Then we can actually go ahead and have them assigned to another project, so that so that they don't feel left out, and they're not worried about boy, this project is coming to an end even before what it was anticipated, right? So by being in constant touch with internal and external, we've gone ahead and continued to earn and win more contracts.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Like what I was talking about earlier, when you really, this is such a big window of opportunity if
Absolutely.
you are leaning in. And yeah, we were blessed as well to have an amazing year. And I think, but innovation is key right now,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
Lots of changes. And so, speaking of those changes, technology challenges facing small to medium businesses today, what do you feel like are their biggest challenges out there? And I'm sure many of you that are listening right now, you're like, I can tell you, I've had many. And what do you feel those are the biggest challenges, and how you're addressing those challenges?
Yeah, so again, right, Alison, as I mentioned earlier, technology comes at a price, right? And as you mentioned earlier, technology is rapidly changing, right? So it is very important that we constantly invest in newer technologies and new tools and technologies, because so for small and mid-sized companies, if they don't invest and keep themselves updated, then chances of them continuing to expand the presence with that customer base or winning new contracts, that percentage would kind of slow down, right, and go low, right? So basically, I think for small businesses, the biggest fear is cost of IT, because technology is expensive, right?
Yes.
Investing in those tools, technologies, and then again, not just okay, going ahead and saying probably this is the best solution, let's go ahead and become a technology partner for this particular technology, or let's go ahead and become a vendor for so and so. It is very important to also go ahead and invest in the people, because you may go ahead and sign up as a as an RPA vendor, or say you want to go ahead and do work on Blue Prism, or or any other robotic automation project. But then if you don't have the people who have the experience and the knowledge, and they know how to use it, you cannot get that project to finish line, right? So I think from a technology perspective, one, those tools and technologies are expensive. Second thing is, as and when the technology changes, you have to keep yourself updated, and you have to also cross-train your employees and get them certified on newer technologies, right? Because there were so many things. I mean, for example, right, Allison, let me talk about low code. If we take 5 years ago, right, if any of our clients wanted to go ahead and build a complex application, what would they do? They would hire a big size of or they would hire at least 5 or 10 application developers, and they would go ahead and build that complex application, and that would take for what, at least 6 months to a year. But gone are those days, right? What do we have today? We have something called as low code, and by infusing low code, we can go ahead and get that application built 20x faster. So again, well, that's there, but then do we have resources to go ahead and get that project to finish line? Do we have those resources to go ahead and build that application within, by using that? Absolutely, you can build that within 3 weeks, but do you have the resources to build that application in those 3 weeks? Are they trained? Are they certified? Do they know how that works, right? So from a technology perspective for small businesses, it is one, investing in those tools and technologies, and also getting people up to speed on those new technologies, right? That is why every time, all the companies that I mentor, I always tell them, every time you win a project, carve out a portion of it in reinvestments, right? If a client goes ahead and awards you a contract for about $1 million or $2 million, whatever money you have left, right, go ahead, hire another person for that. So that way, you do a good job, right? You have your existing resources that are already, helping the client go live. But out of the monies that you have carved out from that particular project, go ahead and invest and bring in additional resources. Go ahead and invest that money in bettering your processes as well. And also go ahead and see the infrastructure that you have to support other projects. Does that support this new contract as well? If not, make that investment there as well, because when you continuously invest and reinvest, then you're not only being successful, but you're also continuing to expand your presence within that existing client base. And then you have success stories to share, not only with that particular client within different business units, but you have success stories to share within two different clients within that industry segment. So I think technology is expensive, but I think it's very easy to solve that if you continue to invest in technology, be abreast of what's going on, and invest in people.
Yeah, so smart. And I do feel like this is where business owners get stuck a lot, Ann, because they're very afraid to invest. It's like, oh, it's expensive, and I get it. So all of that fear comes up, but that's really what is going to drive the growth.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of like the chicken and the egg, but you really need to go for it, because that's what's going to take you to the next level.
Absolutely.
So what do you know now? And that you have this very successful enterprise. You've soared through a very challenging year. You've done an amazing job, but what do you know now that you wish you knew when you started the business?
Yeah. So Allison, as I said, we've been in business for 16 years, certified by WBENC. We got certified in 2009. So from 2004 to 2009, I wish I knew about WBENC. I wish I would have, I got to know about WBENC in 2006 or so. And I wish at that point of time, I would not have been just running after business and taking care of it. I wish I would have taken that plunge and got ourselves certified, because and that's why, Allison, now when I go ahead and talk to some of those businesses who are contemplating, should we get certified or not? I'm like, please go get certified, because understand the power of this network. Seriously, Allison, there is so much that we've learned in this last 10 years, right? And I can't thank WBENC enough. WBENC has been in existence for over 20 years. We've been in existence for 16 years, but we've been certified only for over 10 years, right? So I wish, that very first year that I started, I would have, I wish I knew about it, and I wish I could have gone ahead and got certified, because as entrepreneurs, and I'm sure, Allison, you would agree, right? When we start a business, what's in our mind is like, okay, we have to do it all by ourselves, right? Which we don't really have to. No. Absolutely, we have to focus on strategy, surround ourselves with people, which we have, amazing people, but then also understand that we are a part of an ecosystem which comprises of, your WBENC at the national level, RPOs at the regional level, and look at the network. Allison, amazing certified WBEs who have the mindset to support one another, who believe in working together. There's so much that we learn from each other, right? So again, we don't have to do it alone. And then the best thing is, I'm sure, Allison, you'd have heard, through those different panel discussions, look at the corporate members or the members of those agencies or those nonprofits who are members of WBENC. They are so passionate, and every year they're challenging themselves. we spend $300 million last year with certified WBEs. We're going to bump it up to 600 million, right? So they're always constantly looking for, doing business with, certified WBE. So I think, I wish I knew about this in 2004. I wish, I should not have. I feel I lost those 5 years, but I'm happy, that we've been active, and, can't tell you how much this network has helped us. We do a lot of business with a lot of the corporate members. As I mentioned, we do business both on the solutions as well as on staff augmentation side with over 70 of the corporate members, many of who are corporate members of WBENC. We met them for the first time through those regional and national conferences. And then again, there's so much that we have learned by just participating and being active. Allison, I mean, be it being mentored by corporate members of WBENC, be it attending some of those sessions that WBENC hosted, and even the sessions that WBENC host via the TUC program. I mean, what are they talking about? They're talking about growth strategies, right? You don't have to do it all alone. There's so much that we can learn through this network, right? So I think, if I look back, I wish I could, pull back those 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, you and me both, although you were way ahead of me because I've been certified my company for 4 years now. And I felt the same way, like, how did I not know this? Now I'm like screaming to the rooftops of all the women business owners that I know, get certified, or minority owned businesses.
Absolutely.
It has been a game changer for us as well. And I think that, we do often feel like it's all on our shoulders. Like we have to be the rainmaker, decision maker, the everything maker, and that there's a weakness, if we don't know how to do it. And it really is, strength is in numbers, and the support and the heart of this organization. I can't say enough about it. So I'm right there with you.
Absolutely. I love all my WBE sisters. I mean, look at the energy. There's so much. I really miss being in person, Allison, but I'm loving this too, right? I mean, we still get to meet each other virtually, but the energy, the passion, right, that all our WBE sisters have is just amazing. I do get recharged every time I attend one of those events. So
yeah, me too. I mean, just doing this, what we're doing right now. Well, we have just a few minutes left, and we've had some questions come in from, speaking of our viewers here today. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you those questions. I'm just reading them for the first time here. So let's see. First one, Ann, can you talk about the balance between the responsibilities of frontline staff and including those team members in co-creating innovative products and services? How do you balance keeping the lights on and prioritizing new product or service development? Was I clear on that?
Yeah, great question. So again, right, it all boils down to where do you want to get to, right? So if we're talking about the folks who are working at the customer side, what we hire the best and the brightest, right? They already have the experience supporting, and have the experience supporting customers in that similar industry, or have worked on some of those complex projects where they've earlier on helped clients navigate through, right? So Allison, what we do is, like I mentioned earlier, communication, right? Where we go ahead and not only are in constant touch with our subject matter experts and practitioners who are in-house resources working at our corporate headquarters or at our innovation labs, but we also make our employees who are supporting the clients very comfortable by letting them know that they, even if the client goes ahead and constantly make changes, they don't have to worry because they have access to our in-house subject matter experts, right? So again, we've been able to maintain that balance and continue to keep our in-house practitioners not billable, but continue to innovate in-house. That is all just through reinvestments, right? I mean, again, monies earned have to be reinvested. Again, it's up to you. What's the plan? Do you want to go ahead and continue to grow the business, or do you want to go ahead and do you want to build an enterprise, or do you want to just want to continue to be a small business? If you want to continue, and there's nothing wrong in either, but if your goal is to build an enterprise and continue to solve complex problems of corporate America, agencies or nonprofits, then you have to invest in in-house subject matter experts, and they have to continuously reinvent the wheel and find innovative ways to help clients solve either an industry problem or solve some of the clients' complex problems. Because when they're working at the back end, then guess what? Tomorrow, when a client comes and say they have a problem, you already have frameworks ready. You've already done a POC. So when they call in for a meeting, you're not going with a PowerPoint presentation. You already have an answer how you're going to help them solve that complex problem, right? And Allison, no matter which industry, which client you're supporting and which industry they belong to, Allison, a lot of the problems are almost the same. What are clients trying to solve today? How can we go ahead and increase efficiencies? How can we, what can we do to better serve our customers? Right? How can we bring in cost savings? How can we do all this by infusing innovative solutions? So if you see, no matter what industry you're trying, or which client is trying to support within a specific industry, the problems are almost the same, right? From an IT perspective, what are they trying to do these days? They're trying to automate a lot of those processes, right? So what are they trying to look at? They're looking at, okay, how can we make it more efficient, and how can we extract data from different sources, external and internal, and have a dashboard view which is very clear and very transparent, but at the same time very secure, right? So if you see a lot of the clients, no matter which industry they belong to, they're all trying to solve the same problem, right? And if you've invested in your people, in your in-house subject matter experts, and again, we did not start investing and reinvesting in our people, process, and infrastructure just 2 years back. We've been doing that for 16 years. Money is earned every year. We've been reinvesting, right? And because our overheads are low, we've been able to, go ahead and give and complete those projects at a very nominal cost, right? So yeah, I mean,
there's a theme here, right? Your people, and continue to reinvest
Absolutely.
and stay innovative.
Absolutely.
Well, to wrap this up today, because this has been amazing. Like, I have chills here just from the excitement of it. Here we are. It's International Women's Month. Many amazing female trailblazers will be celebrated this month. Why do you feel like that this is so important to female entrepreneurs like yourself and the other WBEs?
First of all, I think this is a month when we all women should celebrate one another, right? And we should continue to celebrate, not just in the month of March, but we should all be proud of who we are and the impact that we've been, bringing, not just to our families or to our employees or to our clients, but look at the social impact and the economic impact, right? I mean, this is the time when we should celebrate, because we are who we are and we are where we are because of the sacrifices made by some amazing leaders like Susan B. Anthony, right? It's because of their sacrifices we all have a seat at the table. It is because of the sacrifices of many other women that, we're in different industries today, right? I mean, let's talk about women. Well, they're there in manufacturing, they're there in aerospace, they're there in IT, they're there in HR, legal, you name it. Right? So I think we all should be proud of who we are and celebrate and see how far we've come.
Yes.
And 40 years ago, we had to have a mail co-signee to even get a bank loan.
I know.
Right? I mean, the very thought of it, I'm like, boy, and here we are, right?
I know.
Here we are. I mean, look at the network, so very powerful. And I think this also calls in for celebration, because we talked about commercial, but look at federal, right? There are separate federal acquisition regulations out there which calls out for set aside businesses for women-owned small businesses, which didn't exist 20 years ago, right? They have FARs where there could be sole source contracts for women-owned. So I think, I mean, look at all that WBENC has done. Look at all that Women Impacting Public Policy has done. Look at all that We Connect International has done, and look at what Women Precedent Organization and many other organizations are doing for women. Gone are those days, Allison. We're not just caretakers. We're not just homemakers. We're doing it all, right? In every
Yes.
field, women are doing well, and I think we all should celebrate not just WBEs but all the women. And I salute
Yes.
all the women out there
Yes.
for being who they are. And I think because of the sacrifices other women have made, I think we have to continue to go ahead and make sure we pave it forward so that girls and women in the future, they don't have issues, right? And they continue to grow and strive. And I also, Allison, salute all the he's for she's in the audience, right? Who is, believe me, I mean, not only within the WBENC network, but across the globe, there are so many he's for she's who are acting intentionally and making sure they include women in their groups and make sure that they also continue to grow and succeed, not only within their groups or within their company, but they continue to grow and thrive in the marketplace as well. So that's why I salute all those he's for she's as well. And I
Yes.
think this is the month to celebrate, all of us. I mean, we should be proud of who we are. And I think we all should continue to celebrate one another and successes of one another.
Yes, we all rise together. And
Absolutely.
I have an amazing he for she in the other room here that supports me very much.
Absolutely. And I can't tell you, Allison, about 70% of our workforce are diverse, right? We have veterans, we have Asian American, Hispanic American, African American, we have Native Americans, we have women. 40% of our workforce are women. But again, we would not have been able to achieve this goal if we, one, had not surrounded myself with leaders who have that same mindset. And then again, we have so many he's for she's in the company who's always doing what's right and doing what's fair, right? And they all every single day act intentionally. So I think that's the reason why, in every meeting and every gathering, I would always say I salute all the women, but I also salute all those he's for she's who continue to support women. We all hate handouts. We don't want handouts, right? But they've been doing what is fair.
Yes. Well, this is what a powerful note to end on. And this has been truly an honor. And let's give Ann a big applause in the chat. And just so excited to connect with you here and celebrate this important month and ongoing for women business owners, and also for all the things that WBENC does for all of us. So thank you so much. And thank you all for listening today.
Thank you, Allison. Thank you all. And thank you to WBENC. Stay well, be safe, and God bless. Thank you, Allison. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.